Hey everyone, welcome back to ESA. Thanks for joining us today. We're really excited to have you as always. Today we have a really cool activity called Coffee and Ideas. So this is something we typically do outside of the 12 to 1 time. It's always around maybe a Friday at like 4 o'clock where we just kind of hang out in the II area and we just casually talk about everyone's ideas and we give each other feedback. So as a board, we thought, why not do it for the 12 to 12:50 time? So how we usually do this is, I guess we've never done it online. So I know we have a few people already lined up to kind of talk about things, whether it's a business idea you came up with this morning, or maybe it's something that you've been working on forever, or maybe you even launched it already. We want to hear about it all. So please message me in the chat, either privately or to everyone, doesn't really matter, just so you can say that you're willing to go. And I know we have a few people already. And while that's coming in, I wanted to highlight our website. We've been working pretty hard on this, and we're going to keep continuing to do so throughout the semester. As you can see, general announcements right here, links to the recordings, which should work. Yeah, that will take you to our YouTube channel. This is the ESA playlist under the IEI's YouTube channel. So you can watch a lot of the recordings that we post, which we're getting better at posting now. As well as the membership form, which if you haven't done so, please go and do that. It's under Join Us. So all you have to do is click Join Us, fill this out, and that will get you access to our group me, our email list, and all the other resources that we have. Spring programming, that will be done soon. And the community, that will just be linked to the group me. Something new that we just started is the blog. So every week you're going to be getting recaps on the meetings, which is really cool. And then every other week we're doing a student business feature. This is all thanks to Joanna. She is the head of the blog, and she is doing a great job, as well as Kirsten and Justin, who just wrote our first two posts. This one's about Wix by Julia, which is an Instagram account where this girl, she's a Temple student. She sells these candles made out of, I guess, beer cans and IPA cans. Really cool. Definitely read about that. If you're interested in being featured, definitely just message me or Joanna, either or. And like I said, weekly recaps. If you missed the meeting or you just want to figure out what you missed, you can come here and you can just read about what you missed. And then there's a link to the recording as well. And if you were especially inspired by the meeting, feel free to share it on your LinkedIn with your network. That's a really great way to just share that you're part of an organization, you're involved. So thanks for listening. And yeah, we'll just get started. Eric, would you like to start?
Yeah, absolutely. I can start. Thanks for having me. I'll want to share my screen in a bit. I have a short video I want to show you guys, but I've been working on a company with my friend Dan Cantanda. Some of you might know him. I think he was involved with ESA the past year, but we've been working on a consumer electronics company called Koi Charging. And we're currently working on our first product and trying to bring it to life. So Aman, if you could let me share my screen.
You should be able to.
Okay, so I'm gonna share. This is a short video animation that we had done a couple of days ago. And I'm just gonna play that for you guys. You can hear it too. Okay, so sorry, it's playing in the background. Let me turn that off. What the product is called the Koi Flip. It's a laptop case that doubles as a wireless phone charger. So the phone charger pulls battery directly from your laptop's internal battery. So essentially, it turns your laptop into a portable battery bank. So whenever you're out and about, you have your laptop, you don't need to worry about bringing your phone cable. You can just place it on the pad of your laptop. And that's essentially what the idea is and what we're working on.
Thank you. So now what we usually do, oh, Emily, just go ahead.
Sorry, I'm already with questions. So does this work, the case work with so I'm assuming it's just iPhones?
So any phone, any mobile device that has Qi-enabled wireless charging, which is pretty much every smartphone that's come out in the past 5 years or so. but the case itself
Okay.
is only compatible currently with MacBook Pro models.
Okay, and what year would that be like ranging?
So the most recent iteration, so I believe it's the 2016 to present models of the MacBook Pro.
Oh, that's a nice range. That's good.
Joanne,
So I wanted to ask if you, like, for example, would you be able to charge your laptop at the same time that you're charging your phone? Because I know that my MacBook Pro, for example, it doesn't have a USB thing. You need an adapter, and you still have two holes for it, but it does make things a little bit more complicated. So how would you get around that? And would you be able to do both at the same time?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the model that we had a prototype that was being developed. It's actually, here it is. So there's one USB-C type connector. Sorry, the pad will flip out. There's one USB-C type connector that plugs in your laptop, and then that still leaves the other one for your phone. So as long as you have two USB-C adapters, which most MacBook Pros do, you should be able to charge your phone and your laptop at the same time.
awesome. Anyone else? Emily again.
I wanted to know what about the safety? Like how, as in like it's a case, so like just like have you like done any like drop tests or like can you like throw it around your backpack and like will it be okay?
Yeah, so I mean, with most laptop cases, I mean, laptops are heavy, right? Unless you have a really, really strong case, I think most current cases, like from Incase, there's a brand called Andar that we looked a lot at. Their primary objective is to focus against, nicks and scratches and small dents. Even if you had something really industrial, a drop from, chest height is going to be very damaging, regardless if you have a case on or not. So that's not the primary concern, is like catastrophic damage. It's more so nicks and scratches and dents.
Awesome. I have a question. What have you done so far, Eric?
What have I done so
Tell
far?
me. Yeah, so how did you go into one, getting the animation and all the design and all that, and then maybe what are your next steps?
Sure. So in September of last year, we partnered with a hardware development firm based out of Atlanta, Georgia. And we started asking them to build this prototype out for us. And that's how we got this first iteration prototype. And then before they built this physical model, they had a 3D model just to, test for whatever dimensions and things like that. And then that 3D model we sent to a freelance 3D animator. And he converted that into the 3D animation that we have now. I mix and mastered the music that you heard in the background. And now currently we're working on speaking with manufacturers, creating a partnership there, and then launching a Kickstarter to fund the manufacturing and then get these cases out there.
Awesome. Anyone else?
I think Marissa wants to say something.
Yeah, I have a question.
Great product, Eric. Thanks for sharing.
I have a question.
Sure.
I was gonna ask, like what your price range was for when you start selling.
Sure. So it's hard to say right now before we know exactly what the manufacturing costs are going to be. We have an idea of a price range for the model. We were planning on making a cheaper, more basic plastic one and pricing that anywhere from $60 to $80, and then a more premium case made out of leather materials, casket leather, and then that would be more so in the 120 to 140 range. But I mean, that's all variable, and subject to how much it's going to cost to actually produce the case. There's just estimates.
Cool. So have you done any market research at all on basically, have you thought about who's going to buy the product specifically and maybe how many you think might be able to do that? What kind of range?
Yeah, so nothing in depth. We did a lot of sort of individual interviews. We reached out to professors and we asked them, hey, do you have students who would be interested in talking with us and sharing their thoughts? So we did a lot of those at the beginning of last fall. A relatively small sample size, but still all positive responses. But we're going to dive more into the marketing aspect of it in the coming months. And Kickstarter itself is sort of like a market research tool in itself to see, if it doesn't reach its funding goal, then it's sort of like, okay, well, maybe there isn't that much of a need for this product, but there's definitely some more work that needs to be done in that department between now and the launch.
Cool. Well, if no one does anyone else have any comments, questions?
I was going to ask, how would you go about funding the your project?
Sure. So everything we've come to right now has just been out of my partner and I's savings. So we've, bootstrapped this ourselves. But if you aren't familiar with Kickstarter as a platform, it's a community where people post their projects, their prototypes, and then people around the world can pledge money. So they give you money now, and then you promise them that when we make this, we'll send you, well, in our case, we'll send you a case at a discount if you invest now.
So you don't give them their money back, you just give them a product at a discounted price?
Yeah, so pledging on Kickstarter is, you could think of it like pre-ordering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kickstarter is really cool. You should definitely, honestly, if you're interested, just go on and look at the different products people are making. It's pretty interesting. You can watch different videos. There's always a Kickstarter video. And in one of the entrepreneurship classes, you actually make a Kickstarter video and you learn how to do the whole process. I think that's what the SGM, it's one of the intro classes. So definitely, yeah, I mean, you'll be doing it. I don't recommend it. You'll just have to. Anyone else with comments? All right. Well, Eric, thank you. Maybe share any your Instagram. I don't know if you have a website, but definitely share your Instagram with everyone in the chat.
Okay.
And give him a follow, guys. Just kind of follow his journey. I think he'll do well. So just
Yeah,
keep going
thanks
after
for your
that.
interesting comments. That was really insightful. I'm glad I could share that with you guys.
Oh, Eric sent it to everyone, not me. There you go. All right. Well, thank you. Moving on, I guess. Let's see. Who wants to go next? Does anyone else wants to go? I have a couple people, but any more? Okay. Emily, you want to go next then?
Sure. It's kind of me and Caroline. So, we actually just entered this idea in the Changemaker Challenge. So we just came up with it recently. It's called the Duo Case. And our company's called the Sun and Star Collective, which you'll understand in a second. It's for people who carry multiple eyeglass cases or eyeglass cases or multiple pairs of glasses. And it's like a space-saving case that allows you to hold two glasses in one case that's about the size of a regular case that you would get if you had like designer glasses. They come in like big, thick cases. And I can share my screen as Caroline explains a little more. Can you enable? Thank you.
Hi, yeah. So pretty much the idea was, and the design was inspired by the yin and yang, which kind of explains the sun and star name in a way. And also our logo that Emily's showing right now. And she might be able to explain it a little bit more on how that correlates. But anyway, Emily, if you'll go back to like the design. So how it will work is you can kind of see on the bottom left photo that there will be two flaps and two openings to the case. And in that is where you'll put your glasses, and these images don't really show it very well. But the inside piece that separates your two pairs of glasses is in like an S formation, which makes the case look more like a yin and yang, which sorry, I wasn't prepared to speak. If I can find the prototype real quick, it will show it a little bit better. Here it is, sorry. You can see here more of the shape with that line there. But the idea is that we're going to make it out of cork kind of leather material. So it's water resistant. It's also an environmentally and ethically produced product. along with bamboo, which again is also very environmentally friendly as it grows very quickly, and it's also very sturdy. And bamboo is actually pretty much as strong as hardwood is, but the one good benefit of it is it can be bent with heat. So yeah, sorry, that was kind of a mess of an explanation of how the case works.
That was good. I don't think we have like competitors. I guess that's really the only thing I can mention before like questions. I can just share my screen again just to show the pictures of the competitors, because obviously this does kind of exist. So the first one you can see is kind of a similar case. It is a patent design. My mom actually ordered it because how the issue came about was when my mom was shopping for a new purse. She had these two separate cases for her sunglasses and her eyeglasses, and then her wallet, and she was trying to see what her stuff could fit in, and she couldn't find anything. And I was like, me and Caroline, we're trying to come up with ideas for the competition. And I was like, wait, like what about a double eyeglass case? And so this one does exist, obviously, but it's made out of cheap vinyl, and cardboard is what covers the middle, like is the point in the middle that separates the compartments. And it also only fits very small reading glasses. It does not fit sunglasses at all, and especially right now the style is like larger glasses, so that wouldn't really work. Then there's obviously the fabric, which isn't really protective, and then this is just cheap vinyl options below that still don't really provide like proper protection for like something as expensive as a pair of glasses.
Awesome, thank you. Does anyone have any comments, questions? Just any feedback, guys, whether it's negative or positive.
Do you know like how big that market is?
Okay. So yeah, that's one thing that's really lacking, is that there's no research like available online, which obviously we're gonna have to do like you know, our own research and surveying. But just looking online at just like statistics, there's not, I mean, 71% of the population wears eyeglasses, I think it is, or 75%. So that's obviously a lot of people. And then we have some statistics on like sustainable products, about like the likelihood of people buying them. Caroline, I don't know, I'm trying to see if I can find them anywhere else. We just don't really have much statistics other than like, you know, the average cost of glasses, how often people replace their glasses. That's only statistics we have. There's nothing on anything to do with cases, like how often do people break their glasses, what's the reasoning, why are they breaking their glasses, is it the case, like what problems do they suffer with cases. So that's kind of stuff that we're gonna have to figure out on our own. I don't know if that exactly answers your question. We don't necessarily know the market size yet, but obviously there are a lot of people that have glasses, and there's a lot of people that I assume we don't know a number that have like sunglasses and like their regular reading glasses.
Yeah, I was gonna just add, it's kind of a very like niche market, and because of that, there isn't a lot of like data and research into it. But like Emily mentioned, kind of right at the end there, this can be beneficial to people who just solely wear sunglasses or even blue light glasses. Like I know personally, like I have glasses and prescription sunglasses, but I also for school use blue light glasses because I really don't need my glasses when I'm just on the computer. So really, if the market opens up to anybody who wears any type of glasses.
So something that I was thinking about, because I'm thinking about my mom. So my mom used to be one of those people that had reading glasses, and then she has her regular sunglasses, and she would switch them out really often. But what she did is she was like, I'm really sick of having to keep both around. So she got a whole new pair of glasses that work as both sunglasses and her regular reading glasses, those types of like switching ones. So that's kind of a market that's growing, I believe, and a lot of people are starting to invest in that, especially older people who typically wear those kinds of glasses that they need to wear all the time. So that's something that I feel as if you have to look out for. And like, what plans do you think you'll have in the future, or what are you thinking of now that could help you overcome that type of obstacle? Because most people won't own 2 of those if they have those.
I think as we said, we're also not sure about who exactly is our target market, but I don't know if it's going to be. I feel we also need research on those exact type of glasses you're talking about, because honestly, like I don't know anyone that has those other than that are like above the age of um like I think it was like 70. But obviously, as you're saying, it may be becoming more popular. These are blue light glasses. I don't have glasses, so I'm not really sure, but I think that's a really great point of something that we need to look into based on trends. But still, I think that with the option of also it fitting just regular sunglasses for people that even just like wearing multiple pairs of glasses, and also I think this is going to be catered to people that are more on the go, because Caroline made sure that the size of the eyeglass case was enough to fit in the standard like small size or the standard not extra large cup holder in a car, because that was something that she also dealt with.
Cool. Anyone else? Emily and Caroline, did you have anything specifically you wanted to ask the audience maybe? No? All right. Well, thank you guys. Great idea. So let's move on. Let's see. Does anyone else want to go? Don't know if we have anyone else. Maybe they'll start calling some people out. Okay. I'm gonna put someone on the spot. Marissa, let's talk about jewelry.
Hi. Okay, so in high school I had like a little startup. It was primarily I would make like necklaces. I actually have some of them right here. Like these. I started selling them in like just throughout my high school and just doing it through Venmo and Cash App. And then I started doing it selling necklaces to like surrounding schools. And then after that, I started selling it through direct message on Instagrams and then sending it out to people who lived like all across the United States. And how I did that was I would have create Instagram promotions. And when you create Instagram promotions, you can set where you want the ad to be. So I set them to pretty much like every major city. So I would do like Philly, New York, and then California, like some cities in like LA, and I'm trying to think where else. Baltimore, I did Baltimore, Richmond, and then I would just get random direct messages, and it was so easy. And I was doing it through they would just Venmo me. I would send the product out and then send them the tracking code, and then sometimes the people that bought the items would repost it on their stories, so I would get more business from that. And then after I did the direct messaging, I started a website and people started ordering from there, and I did it through Shopify. And then I also did a craft show down the shore in Margate, New Jersey, and I made pretty good money there. And then maybe I'll start it up, but I don't know if I want to restart it or just, I have other ideas too for what I want to do, but I'm definitely really interested in e-commerce and Shopify and selling stuff on that.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, Marissa told me about this last semester, so I thought it'd be a cool kind of thing for you guys here is e-commerce. I know that's a big thing. I one time I remember I was considering doing drop shipping, and I texted in the group chat and I was like, does anyone do drop shipping? And people were like, no, don't do it. But yeah, anyway, anyone have any questions for Marissa? I know Emily does. Emily.
All right, Marissa, I think this is a cool idea. I think it's awesome how you got started with it, kind of just doing it through Instagram promotions and like targeting just cities and getting the DMs, and just the way you organize it, super cool. And it's definitely a side hustle that I think that you should definitely try to pick up again if you're interested and
Yeah.
have the time, of course. I do understand though, like wanting to, I kind of used to do something similar, but not exactly like I never went to like the social media route that you did, but like more on a small scale. I definitely understand, you know, wanting to like maybe possibly work on another idea, but this is also potentially something that like if you developed a brand like this could be your business and idea to work on. So I guess it's just deciding you still have that interest in jewelry to do that.
Yeah,
And like, oh, sorry. I was just gonna say that I think that this would just be really cool, even just to start on the side as a hobby too, just
yeah,
to, and do you still have that account? Like that was like my main
yeah.
question
So
because, oh,
I got up to like I think it was like 600 something followers on Instagram, and I just like I had it in high school and I just got distracted with like other things. It wasn't like my main priority, and I think like I didn't see the full potential that it had. And I just like shut down everything just because it was just becoming way too much. And I was playing two sports in high school. I just didn't have time to do it. And I have the account now and it doesn't have, I just deleted everything, but I think I still have like 235 followers. So I still have that. But yeah, Facebook ads and Instagram ads definitely just worked so well for me. It's just crazy how it kind of just blew up. Like people were just DMing me like, "Oh, this necklace is so cute. Like, can I get it?" And I didn't expect people to be interested in it. Like it was just a hobby, and people from like New York, people from like Maryland, California, like I was sending stuff out, and it was just really cool.
Cool. Max, I think you have something to say.
Yeah. So like that's a great idea. And if you want to like continue with it to help expand, you could work with some of the art students in Tyler, like the jewelry students. I know I've had a few in my entrepreneurship classes and I've met a few in ESA before. You could like rep them and sell some of their products on your website as well and just like get a portion of the profit while spreading their name out. So
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't even know that there was jewelry students. That's
yeah, they make a lot of cool stuff, a lot of them, and they like try to make their own sites and stuff, but it's like mixed results for them. So
gotcha.
any help they like.
Yeah, I kind of want to start like if I ever did restart it, I was making everything by hand, but I know that there's different ways to, get stuff manufactured and buy it in bulk, but I don't know if that would like deter people from buying it. But I know I see like these Instagram boutiques on social media, and they all have like pretty much the same products, and like I've seen like the charms and stuff on like Etsy and on other websites, and then they just sell it for so much more.
Right.
Everyone's pretty much selling like the same thing, I feel like.
Yeah.
yeah, I know
Definitely
what
use
you're
both for that.
saying. I feel like that's happening because people are outsourcing. So the other way that, like, as you're saying, that's also a possibility, of course, and also ordering your materials from there too. Um, but like as Max was saying, you could also, I don't know how much you enjoy the process of actually making the jewelry if you're more focused on the business end, because that's what you could do is find a Tyler student that's in the jewelry department, which is really my roommate has some connections, so I could always talk to you about that different time. But finding a Tyler student that's maybe interested in hand making it, and then you run the business side. And maybe you come up with the designs with them. That's just an idea.
I mean, I enjoy making it. It's just a lot of time. Like I kind of feel like I need another person to help me.
Yeah. And maybe a resource you could end up using a startup tree to find someone like that. Or maybe someone in ESA. I know you texted one time in the group me, maybe you didn't get too much luck, but keep
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah. Well,
Joanna?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you just said you need another person. I've seen a lot of people because they don't want to buy charms because it's so easy to find a lot of the same products on other people's websites because maybe you buy things from the same place and whatnot. I have seen people just kind of make their own product, like make their own jewelry, but instead of like doing anything too crazy, like making wooden charms or anything, they'll literally just get like clay and different color clay and then just kind of like mash it together and marble it. So it has like really cool designs that are unique and one of a kind. And you have a lot of clay, so you can just keep doing it and keep mashing it up into different kind of like designs and whatnot. So that's something that I've seen a lot of people do. Resin art is really popular right now. I've actually bought something from a small business from a friend of a friend of a friend. She makes a lot of resin art. She made like candle holders, no, I'm sorry, incense holders, like stuff like that. So that's also something that you can look into. There's a lot of new options out there in order to make things unique and to make things much more one of a kind, which is what a lot of people kind of look for, because that's what I look for when I'm buying something that's handmade or from a small business, because
Yeah.
it's get the same product from like, I don't know, Macy's or something, you know, or Etsy, because, and it's also always like mostly overpriced. Whereas if you can make this stuff on yourself, like by yourself, and you can kind of reduce the price of the materials and like how much you're spending, you could price it a little bit lower, which could make you a little bit more appealing as like a business and help with your like help with the competition.
Yeah, for sure. I also kind of have an interest in like if I did create the brand, like selling clothes too.
I did that for a while.
You
I
did?
sold clothes. I sold like clothes on Depop, and that is another thing that just kind of like Depop is one of those things that I hold in the same level of Etsy. It's usually overpriced, and people are kind of just raiding thrift stores and just ruining the whole point of thrift stores to sell it on Depop. So there's a that's like a whole other thing, you know. Oh, sorry, I have to go.
Cool. Well, anyone else? Awesome. Well, thank you, Marissa. I know I put you on the spot, so
No, you're good.
you doing that. Okay. Does anyone else want to go before there's someone else on the spot?
I
Okay.
can go.
Sure.
Okay, so I have an idea for an app. I actually entered it in the idea competition. I was a finalist. Um, so the app is like really supposed to be kind of like a dating app, but like for college students, like just trying to meet friends. Um, like a lot of freshmen always say like they want to like go out to like different events on campus, but like they have like no one to go out with. Um, Especially like during move-in week, since like they literally just moved in, they don't really like know anyone. So the app will be like able to let students from like their different colleges like sign up on there once they're admitted and like enrolled, and let them talk like no matter where they are in the country, so they can like get to meet people already. And yeah.
Wow, really cool. Anybody have any comments, questions, feedback?
I think that's definitely an innovative idea, because when I was coming into college as a freshman, like I didn't have a Facebook, and like that's what everyone like recommends,
Yeah.
like to meet people. So it was kind of like I could see how that would definitely work.
No, definitely a fantastic idea, especially right now when no one's meeting each other.
Yeah, I feel like especially now it's like perfect.
Mhm.
But it was like supposed to like it was based on like pre-pandemic.
Of
Just
course,
like
right.
people want to like meet people, and I don't know, the kind of like swiping stuff is like it's like
Yeah,
a happy thing for the brain and stuff.
right.
Everyone's used to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Before I ask my question, Emily, why don't you go?
I just wanted to know where are you in the process of this? Like, did you enter the competition and like, I don't know if you've had time and like, have you, I don't know if you code yourself and like, what are you thinking about like building it or have you?
Yeah, so I'm like building a business model. I'm not like working on like actually developing the app or anything. Still like working on like assumptions and just testing the idea and make sure like it'll be like ready to be adopted and like not just, you know, go out, like it's not a great app. So yeah, I'm kind of like I'm entered into the BYOBB, and yeah, I'm like currently trying to find like some team members. So if anyone's like interested, you can like hit me up. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I was more curious. So do you have anyone to develop the app? Like, what are you doing in that kind of area?
Yeah, I was talking to like some students from what is it, CST?
Mm-hmm.
Because like they have like a lot of people over there that code. So we probably just like keep like from like in Temple, because I know only very basic coding.
Right. Of course. No, that's definitely a really great way to go about it. It's just keep networking, try to meet the right people. Because
Yeah.
not only do you want someone with the right skills, but you also want someone with like the same vision as you and someone you work with really easily.
Yeah.
Anyone else? All right. Well, thank you, Promise, for sharing. I'm sure we'll all be hearing about your product for the BYOBB. Which for those of you who are not aware is the Be Your Own Boss Bowl, which is, Emily, what's that, in March or April? Yeah, so that's coming up soon. We'll give you guys more information on that. And if you're interested in entering, it's a really great way to kind of develop your whole idea and possibly win a prize. Honestly, it's really good money that you can use for your business. Yeah, we have time. So Chris, did you want to go? Maybe just tell us what you're working on right now.
Yeah, I guess I could go. So currently I'm just working on my own brand. I did launch this past fall, but I'm kind of redirecting the brand and taking it in a more long-term approach to the way I'm going to be designing. And so currently I've just been back and forth between New York and Philly like every other weekend, working with a manufacturer in the garment district and sourcing fabrics and getting everything together. For this fall, I'm going to be doing some knit beanies. So I'm working with 100% wool, and I'm producing like essential sweatpants and crew necks, which are just going to be like the highest quality I can possibly find, perfect fit. I do some sewing myself, and I've just been experimenting with creating the perfect fit of like sweatpants, because a lot of my sweatpants are like either slightly too baggy or just like too skinny, like joggers. And I get very specific when it comes to the details of my clothing. So, yeah, I'm just trying to create my silhouettes, my custom made from scratch clothing and get them manufactured. So, um, but I guess I'll explain like, so I'm taking a more like fabric and silhouette approach to the brand now, rather than graphic uh, streetwear, more designed uh, pieces with prints on them. But the essence of the brand is pretty much going to be based around the concept of being at home with the little things in life that spark familiarity. So I'm a big street photographer myself. I love walking around the city and literally just whatever catches my eye. It could be like any little detail or a certain person, just the way they look. Things that catch my eye, just shoot photos of, and I love the authenticity in that. So I'm going to read you something I kind of wrote up to sum up where the inspiration is going to be drawn from for the brand. So let's see. All right. So the name of the brand is Chez, and Chez means at the home of in French. A lot of people think it's Chez, which is understandable because we're American. But um, yeah, my mom's a French teacher, and it goes way back. It's a long story where I got that name from, but it means at the home of in French. So home is one of those words that is simple at a glance, but complex in its entirety. What is home? How do we define it? Why is my concept of home completely different from yours? To us, home is simply a feeling of comfort and familiarity regardless of physical location. Our brand is built around this idea of being at home with the subtle details in life that spark our emotions and trigger familiarity. Home could be a weathered brick wall in the park or an elderly man wearing a plaid button up. It could be a melody playing in a passing car or an autumn leaf falling from a tree. With this mentality, we are always at home regardless of where life takes us. We encourage you to take a second and look around in the midst of your busy life. Finding home will ground you and keep you going. So it's just kind of like playing with, literally I could draw inspiration from anywhere, colors, sounds, just different aesthetics, and use that into the things that I'm going to be designing. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Really great stuff, actually. Does anyone have any comments, questions, feedback for Chris?
I really like your brand message, like what you just wrote.
Thank you.
I definitely second that. That was really cool to hear.
Appreciate it.
All right. Anyone else with questions? Emily?
So I wanted to ask about how you're making like the perfect fit sweatpants. Like, are you doing like research into that? Like, obviously, I guess you're doing like material research. I'm not really sewing research. I don't know what they're
Yeah.
called that.
Yeah.
But
So
like, what about research as in like actually, like, are you gonna have to measure a bunch of different people? And also, are you including women in this, like women's clothing, or is it like unisex? Like, I wasn't sure.
so it's pretty much unisex. Most of my focus will be on menswear to start, just because it's a lot easier for me, obviously. But it is unisex. Like, it can be worn by women. Sweatpants are a pretty, they're not super form fitting. So, but yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm really just, I've done a lot of research on just different fits and different sweatpants that I've seen or had or whatever, and different materials and on the stretch that they have. Like, you can see, I just have like endless swatches of fabric everywhere. I've just been sampling tons and tons of fabric, and ultimately, yeah, the main goal for this first round is pretty much to just have a solid size range of sweatpants with a tapered cut down to like a perfect cuff that can be rolled up the leg some and isn't too loose. But it's definitely, I'm still working on trying to get it perfect, but we have a pretty solid pattern made, and I've tried on like some samples so far, so it's going pretty well.
I just have one suggestion of a company to look up, and if anyone knows what I'm talking about, please mention it. We learned about it in entrepreneurial marketing, and it's about this company. It was like called the most perfect sweat jacket or something. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. It's like we did like a whole case study on it. It's just a super interesting company that did a lot of research and development with a sweatshirt, not a sweatpants.
Okay.
The company was
I'll check
American
it out.
Giant.
Just a company to look into for see what they're doing.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
Awesome. Well, if anybody else doesn't have to go, if anybody else wants to go ahead.
I could do a
If
quick
not,
rundown of what I do. If
sure,
I
if
could
you'd like
share
to
my
go ahead.
screen.
Yeah, here, let me give you quick access. And just so you know, Kevin, we are running a little short on time, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, it'll be quick.
There you
So what I do is I buy retail sneakers at retail price, and they're usually really high in demand. And then I like to resell at a higher price. So of course, it's not always easy getting these shoes at retail price. So what I do is I have this spot. This is the newest one I just bought. I bought it for $1,600, but I'm hoping it performs well and I can make back on my investment. And the end goal for me really is get enough shoes, and maybe in the future, me and my friends really want to open like a store, like a consignment store where we have our own display of sneakers where we could sell it at our own prices, stuff like that. And essentially, yeah, this is what I do all day. Essentially, just run restocks. Eventually, I might grab a couple of things. I have a bunch of different bots, and you can see my Discord log. You can see the checkouts I have. So stuff like that. I also have a bot for like retail stuff. So I might check out like Pokemon cards, which are really hot right now and sell at higher price, or like a PS5, stuff like that. So I know we're short on time, but it's just a quick rundown of what I do.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. It's really cool, guys. I wish we had more time to go into more detail because it's something that a lot of people have been doing and making a ton of money on, but it's not easy. You have to you have to do a ton of research, be in a lot of communities, and just be learning all the time, which
That's definitely not easy because a lot of people start and they usually lose money and they get discouraged. But it's
Right.
like mostly just persistence and constantly try and see what works out for you.
No, definitely. No, thank you, Kevin. If you're interested, hit Kevin up in the group me if you want to learn more.
Yeah, if you need a PS5, graphics cards,
All
the
right,
reason
guys.
you can't get it.
Thanks, Kevin.
Mhm.
Quick announcements real quick before we go, and I'll put the suitable code up as well. When is having a meeting today? So Carolyn, do you want to quickly just share?
Yeah, so tonight from 6 to 7, we're having an event with Nicole Marquis. You all might know her as the CEO and founder of Hip City Veg, Cafe Bourbon, or Charlie Was a Sinner, which are all vegan restaurants in the city. Some of you might have been to them before. So we're just going to be having kind of like a Q&A kind of style meeting, talking about like what knowledge she's gained from being a woman entrepreneur in the city. And then we'll have time for the audience to ask her questions as well. So I can send the link in the chat real quick for the event. Yeah, it's 6 to 7 tonight.
Thank you, Carolyn. Yeah, and I don't think we said it. When is Women's Entrepreneurship Network? So if you're not aware, just go check them out. I will definitely be trying to go there. I'm pretty sure I will be. Sounds like a really cool event, especially since it's a pretty big name. CEO of Hip City Veg and all those other restaurants. So, like I said, make sure you fill the membership form if you haven't done so already. Like I said, it's just right here on the website, tuesa.org, under Join Us, and just fill this out. That way we have all the information and you will start getting access to everything. And we will be pushing out a ton of resources this semester. We're working on a job board. We're working on professional development, all these professional development resources. Under here. Also, if you go on our website under resources, feedback, and idea submission, maybe resources, please make sure you go and come here and just if you have an idea for a meeting, click here and you can actually share with us what you're interested in having in our programming. We really want to hear from you. Other things. We are starting a consulting program, which is really exciting. We've been talking about doing this for a while, and we're going to work with small businesses in Philly, most likely this semester, just one. But that is coming soon, and we're actually working at the details this week. So stay tuned for that. And that's something that anyone in ESA can get involved in and, get resume experience, work experience, and, meet other people. So like I said, thank you for joining us. Let me put up your code because I know you all need that. And feel free to stay around if you want to chat, as always.